the boat, and where it was brought in yesterday, I was going to say I'm beginning to get on with work, and it's in that stage just before work really commences, where I'm still doing preparation. I'm still getting to grips with it, but I'm dying to get on with it, and I'm going a million miles an hour, and I'm normally I've been able to get myself in some sort of control lately when things start to get ahead of me and I start to go really fast, because I can't be there for my mental health. Things will fall apart. It's like I run around like a headless chicken, and it's I'm just asking for trouble. You know, I've been there so many times. I know the situation. I know not to do that. But today, and it's just sinking in now. It's just sinking in, and I'm in a bit of shock, really. That's how messed up things are with my life, that I have good news and I'm in shock. It's like I can't believe it. It's not just the recent past. My whole life, that's the way things have been. You know, if I try to act because I need to, or I think I need to, I tend to fall over. I tend to run into trouble. And as I said yesterday on the video, in no way is this boat a perfect. There's so much dirt. As you can see behind me, I've got just terrible insulation in a small section of the boat, and that needs to be ripped out with everything else. And the rust that's behind it needs to be removed, it needs to be painted, and then I can think about putting in a toilet, a shower, a kitchen, somewhere to cook. So there's immense amounts to do. But that's how I bought the boat. That's what I was prepared for. And I purchased the boat on I don't help myself, but I purchased the boat on eBay. I felt very pressured by my own personal circumstance that I needed to act fast, and there was a choice to go somewhere else to see another boat, or there was this boat. And they both said in the listing what I wanted to hear. But with myself, I normally get, the word I'd want to use is fucked over. I'm sorry, my vocabulary is limited right now to be able to think of a more pleasant way to reference it, but I normally get fucked over. I normally get effed over, done over in some way by people, by life, because it's not a personal thing. It's just, it happens to me seemingly wherever I go, wherever I do or have done. And there was nothing to say it wouldn't happen again. I got the boat. It said it had overplating, which basically means that additional metal has been added at a later stage in time from the original build to strengthen, to add more life to the longevity of the boat. Now that's a good thing, because you want boat that's had overplating, which means it's had trouble, but it's been rectified and you can get on with it. And this boat said it had it 8 years ago. And I got the boat, and before long I realised the floor had a hole cut in it, and water was coming up from it. Now, there was no way of knowing if that was a bodge job thereafter the overplating had been done to limit a leak, to limit a problem that's arisen since the overplating, or simply a hole in the original metal in between the original metal and the new layer of protection, the overplating layer, and within that there's water trapped by, could be a leak from the top, from rain, it could be it could have got in through other means, but either way, seeing it, and you're going to be living on it with all your possessions, your home, and you've got a mental health disorder, so finding problems like being made homeless, it's not something you really want to be happening. Nobody wants that, but I decided, because I purchased it on eBay, it was a very good price for a boat if it had the overplating in my mind. Now I got the boat and the engine's already swallowed a load of money but the engine is at a place where it's like it's on its way out, but the amount that I'll need to use the engine, the water that the engine will be on, canal water, so it's still, there's no tides, the distance that I'll need to travel, as long as I look after the engine, it could hobble on for at least a couple years, I reckon. And it's in a pretty bad state, but as long as I look after it, it could just hobble on like that, and that's all I'll need it for. So that's not a problem for me. And I was lucky to have the mechanic that could get it. I mean, he put hours into it to get it to this state, and it just made the journey here. It literally did. It was cut. I got some skippers. I hired a skipper to bring her here from the Thames and up the canal, because it was too much for me. And they know what they were doing with engines. They know engines far. Well, I don't know engines at all, but they know engines to a certain extent. And she was overheating constantly for the journey. It extended the journey. It was cutting out. But this is all in line with what the mechanic was saying. And I think it's just the extent of the journey in a small space of time that the engine wasn't really designed, isn't really in a place for it. But it's made it here to the boatyard, and she's out of the water now. And she's had the survey today, and the survey has shown that the hull, the overplating, is all in good stead. There's a couple small jobs to do just to add a little bit of reassurance to that water coming up from the floor. It's basically, the likelihood is that I could gauge from the surveyor, it is rain water that's collected in between. He gave the ideal scenario, and it was going to cost a lot of money, and to be honest, for the amount of reassurance that it was going to give, it wasn't really worthwhile, given that the hull's in good condition. So we've made a plan that's going to take this boat for a good 5 years, 8 years, without any headaches or any concerns or anything like that. The amount of welding that's going to be needed is next to none. And I'm in shock that I've managed to find something that, alright, my life is demanding absurd things from me in way of accomplishing, so I need to really build my own home. But I have that to a certain extent in me to get it to a standard that's livable first of all, and then from there, if I'm patient, do small jobs over time to bring it up to a more you'd say hospitable place where I could invite people over and not necessarily feel shame for. But in the first instance, I don't feel shame to live here, and I have that within me with getting a few small jobs outsourced. And ultimately it was just the hole that was the sticking point, and it's cost a little bit of money extra than the original the initial good deal, but the reassurance that will give, in addition to now having essentially something solid, it's the best way I can describe it. And when you're dealing with boats, something solid is a good thing. And when you're dealing with a home, it's a good thing. So I have something solid to build from. And my mental health has been all over the place. My mind's all over the place, just trying to focus and deal with the stresses. Can you imagine if they'd have turned around and said, right, yeah, this whole section's going to need overplating again, another... I don't really know the price, but in my head it could have been another maybe 4,000, 5,000 on top at max. And that would have killed me. I don't know if I could have survived that. But to know that it's not anywhere going to be near that what's required. The relief to know that work can get on, and not only work can get on, but I can begin to slowly bring my life from where I've been for the last couple of years to here. So where I was looking at the order of work, and it was like viewing this as the most important thing and not really getting past that. It's like, right, I've been able to see beyond it now. It's like, okay, it's worthwhile to start thinking about moving and bringing your stuff to the boat and looking at jobs beyond the initial checks. And with where I've been, I've just like, the nerves just got the better of me, and I've just been like in focus mode to get on with stuff. But like I said at the beginning of this video, if I don't slow down, I'm doing myself a detriment, and my mental health will let me know it within a short amount of time. So I'm just taking the time to make a smoke and check in at the same time, because they both seem to work. The smoking, sitting down, just chilling out, and checking in with my mind, checking in with my breathing, distracting myself from work. It all helps. But yeah, if anybody's bored with lockdown and would like to do it for themselves, I've got a lot of fun jobs here, lots of power tools. And I know the input is very much, I don't want to say needed, but it's every little bit of help would make huge differences to speed and ease and stress and sleep. But I appreciate give it another video, I'll tell you all to fuck off. So I'm not owed any favours. So literally all I can think is if anybody's bored in lockdown, I'm eligible to have somebody come and spend time with me, given lockdown rules as I understand it, living alone. And the offers there'll be some beer money or kombucha money, whatever if your lifestyle denotes. I'll happily contribute something to that. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm dealing with a lot of things. I was hoping to get the first bit of paint on the outside today, but things have just taken longer, and I'm just getting my mind in gear, so having a look around, seeing everything that's needed. I've got a trolley, so I'm gonna get it so I can lie on my back, so I can paint underneath the boat, otherwise I'd break my back and neck. So those are the things that I've got to do for today with the light that I have. I might do a few things inside, but in terms of priority, it's just finishing the prep work, and tomorrow the sort of painting should begin in earnest. Just want to be clear, I'm showing all of this, and it's like, to some this is luxury, man. To think about having your own home. I mean, to some seeing this, they'll be like shocked, thinking, "Well, you can't live like that. Can't live with insulation, as a backbone, as a wall, as a finish. He's got to have plaster and paint." And others would be like, "What? He owns his own home, and he doesn't have to stress about rent, and he doesn't have to think about etc." I mean, this is just the UK. You start to think about the rest of the world. This is just like pure luxury. So I'm remembering all of this as I do the work, and I'm gonna have to find that balance point of necessity to what you really need to live, and then I'll probably just stop there and take it in my stride. So it might be a case of living with insulation board as the finish. I might even paint the insulation board, because it'll probably, I'm aware that, it'll take no time to give it a lick of paint, and it might be like that for a while. So I might live with painted insulation board as a means to balance out my own feelings of what's the